So this isn't take apart video or a how-to video. This is I had a neighbor's Canon printer that I had helped her set up originally, the Canon MX870. And it was erroring with, something on the lines of there's an ink thing, and it was erroring on the ink cleaning section is full or that sort of thing. So I figured, all right, well, I'll take it apart because I tried a couple things. I tried cleaning it from when you open the thing up. Tried cleaning down there. That didn't really do anything. I figured out why. If you get this top part out of the way and off to the side, the first hint of something is not normal. Well, one, she used Office Max cartridges, and one of them had leaked and made a mess, and I suspect more than one had leaked over time, and she didn't realize it because you can see the ink all over the place, right under where the cartridges go. So that was one problem. And then this is right underneath there. You can see all the shiny ink all over everything. But this is where it cleans itself out, so it was trying to do things. And here's the pad where it runs back and forth underneath it would clean things. And again, that's soaked with ink on both ends, and you can see the extra ink off to the side. And here's the first indicator of something is not normal. I'm fairly certain there's not supposed to be that pile of ink, and that whatever that is completely gooed up and full of ink. So I think that's what caused the sensor to freak out. And that's not even the best part. If you look, I hadn't realized this, and I had actually taken some of the pads out already and tossed them in the trash. The entire bottom of these printers are filled with ink saturation pads. You can see clean screwdriver, squish it, black screwdriver, and you can kind of see the ink bubble up when you squish. This pad is soaked with ink the whole way across. This pad is soaked with ink. And it's not just one layer. There's multiple layers. There's 3 1/4-inch layers of pad there, and they're all soaked with ink. These are all soaked with ink. You can see it squish up when I mean, that's a lot of ink to cause that much to squish up after, I mean, look at that. That's a lot of ink. And all of the pads are like that, the whole way around and the whole way across and everything. This one, not quite as bad for some reason. But if you look here, see if I can get this up without making a complete mess. I doubt it. That's an open area, and there's plastic underneath. But this, that is and this is going to annoy me because it's going to keep flopping down. All right, let's make a mess. All right, there we go. Now it's out of the way. That's a massive goo pile of ink. That's a huge blob of ink. That's intense. And that's where, so the ink would drip down into here when it squirted, or drip into the upper thing, and then come down through here out of that little tube. But the entire pads, so it's not just the very top part, it's all of the pads are soaked with ink. I don't know how many cartridges worth of ink that is. That's probably half a cartridges of ink just in that goo pile, let alone what's soaked into everywhere else. So that's why the printer didn't work. She luckily has another one now, and that one works okay. But yeah, that's why it was not behaving and it was giving the error code. And some people say, oh, you can take it out and clean it. I mean, yes, theoretically you could have taken this apart correctly and not broken little plastic tabs, but that is an awful lot. I mean, if you're going to replace the pads, you have to take all these out and replace all of them. I don't even think these are, like, look at that. That's a massive amount of ink. I don't even know that you could buy these pads. I mean, I guess you could get some other pads from somewhere. That's amazing how much ink that is. But you would have to replace all these pads, clean up this other thing, which I don't know how you would clean that up, because I'm guessing that's completely full of ink the whole way up through that tube. So, yeah. So this is one of those, let's see what the problem was. Well, the problem was there was an unbelievable amount of ink that came down out. Cartridges, multiple cartridges worth of ink came down out into here. Like I said, she had some Office Max cartridge, black, the giant ones. This is one of the ones that has the big ink cartridges and the small ones. I think one of the big ones had just leaked in the printer, and I'm not sure if any other ones had leaked as well, but yeah, there's so much ink on here that's interesting. But at least that 100% explains why it was throwing an error. I'd throw an error if I had all that ink where it wasn't supposed to be too. So, fun stuff.